You know, if you want to go back a few years, Will Smith was kind of like at the top of the world in many ways. He was nominated for an Academy Award. He was, he was still Big Willie. The days of him being the biggest box office draw in the world may be gone, but people still love seeing Will Smith. And then the damn slap happened. Then the slap happened. And instantly, even people who were big Will Smith fans like me were like, you maybe need to go away for a little while. And sure enough, he did. And let's be honest, I don't think the slap killed his career, but it ain't the same. I think we can all acknowledge that. Will Smith's career right now, I mean, he's only made one movie, I think, in the past 4 years. And that was Bad Boys. And we'll talk about that in a second. Well, Will Smith is now back in the news again. For a good reason. Apparently, he has now gotten attached to a brand new action thriller film called Supermax, being lined up, and Amazon has just bought the rights to it for 70, that's a 7 with a 0 after it, $70 million. The story reads, this is from Deadline. Here's a big one. Will Smith has just committed to star in David Gordon Green's directed action thriller Supermax about two FBI agents investigating a murder that's taken place in the world's most secure prison. By the way, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the old Green Lantern series that they were going to do? No, it was a Green Arrow series. They were going to do a Green Arrow series that they were going to call Supermax, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway. In a deal pegged in the $70 million range, Amazon MGM Studios closed a pact this week for worldwide rights to the Miramax project, which will mark Smith's first non-franchise movie in recent years. We understand, and this is the key part here, get this. We understand this will be a streaming play and not a theatrical, not a theatrical one. Super slaps. Oh, well said, Marcus. Well said. All right. Couple of different thoughts here. First of all, I'm going to say, I like the sound of this. This is an interest. That's a good elevator pitch. Say, okay, what's the idea for it? A murder takes place inside a Supermax prison, and these two FBI agents have to go into the prison to try to solve the murder that happened inside of there. You know what? Right away, right off the top, that's a good sounding premise. I like the sounds of it. That sounds pretty damn good to me. It really does. You add Will Smith to it as an FBI agent, not a MIB agent. Those are 3 different letters. Wouldn't that be funny if we go to watch Supermax, if we turn on Supermax and it's Will Smith, but as instead of an FBI agent, he's an MIB agent. Okay. There's a crossover we've all been waiting for. So it's a cool sounding story. You add Will Smith to this role. I like it. He's a really good actor. Let's not lose focus of that beyond the slap, Will Smith is an Academy Award winning actor, a multi-time Academy Award nominated actor. He's really good. He's great. So this sounds like a good project to me. But what I can't get away from is, again, this part, this highlighted part here. We understand this one will be a streaming play and not a theatrical release. Why? And here's what I think the answer is. And I might be wrong, but this is what I think the answer is. The only film Will Smith has done the last 4 years was Bad Boys Ride or Die, right? And if we take a look at the box office results, so the first Bad Boys made 141. Then the second one came out, made a huge, nearly doubled its box office, 273. Then Bad Boys for Life came out, which, listen, I will tell you right now, Bad Boys for Life is my favorite Bad Boys film. I had a great time with it. I really, really enjoyed Bad Boys for Life. Then the slap happened. Bad Boys Ride or Die comes out, and it makes less. For the first time in the Bad Boys franchise history, not only did the new installment not make a massive gain in box office, but actually came down in box office. Didn't come down a ton. But remember, right up to Bad Boys Ride or Die, the Bad Boys films were like almost doubling, like getting like 60, 70, 80, 90% more than what the previous film had. And then Bad Boys Ride or Die comes out, makes $398 million. I think there's two reasons that that one made less money. First reason is because, well, it just wasn't as good as Bad Boys for Life. I don't think it had the rewatchability of it as Bad Boys for Life did. So I think that's one reason. But I think we're going to be really naive if we also don't acknowledge that the slap probably had something to do with it too. So why does Amazon spend $70 million to pick up a new Will Smith actioneer if they're not going to put it in theaters? Here's my guess, and you guys are more than welcome to agree or disagree with it. I think they still don't feel the general movie-going audience is ready to go back to a Will Smith movie. I just have a feeling that while Amazon likes being in the Will Smith business, and they spent $70 million. Why would you spend $70 million for something you're not going to put in theaters? But they spent $70 million. They've had success with Will Smith, and they want to be in the Will Smith business. So why on earth do you not put this thing in theaters where it can make its most money and then put it on Amazon streaming afterwards? Honestly, I think the only thing that's really a practical and viable option is the fact that they just simply don't feel that Will Smith is ready to be on the big screen again. Now, they may be right, they may be wrong, but I can totally see where they're coming from. Like maybe the play here is this. Maybe Amazon's thinking, look, we still believe in Will Smith and we want to be in this long term. We want to be in the long game with Will Smith. So let's get him in this movie. Let's put it on Prime Video and hopefully it's a big hit and it continues the rehabilitation of Will Smith's image. And then put it on the big screen. Maybe that's their philosophy. Maybe that's the way they're thinking. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, guys, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think it's a really important reminder that no matter what's going on in our lives, we don't have to go through it alone. And honestly, I think a lot of us carry around stress, anxiety, pressure, or uncertainty without ever really talking about it. Whether it's work, family, finances, or just trying to keep up with life, sometimes it can feel overwhelming. You guys know that one of the things I've learned is that nobody has all the answers on their own. Sometimes just having someone to talk to, someone who can listen and help you sort through what's on your mind, can make a huge difference. And therapy can be a really valuable tool for that. BetterHelp has over 30,000 licensed therapists and has helped more than 6 million people worldwide. They'll match you with a therapist based on a short questionnaire, and if you ever feel like it's not the right fit, you can switch to another therapist at any time. You don't have to be on this journey alone. Find support and have someone with you in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's better, HELP.com/Campea. Here's my thoughts on it. And I've kind of expressed this before, so some of you have heard me say this, maybe some of you haven't. Some of you will agree with me, some of you will disagree, and that's fine. The way I look at it with Will Smith is, number one, he is a tremendous actor. Number two, he can elevate movies that he's a part of. Number three, he absolutely damaged his legacy with the stupid shit he pulled at the Oscars. But number four, how many years has it been now since the slap? What's it been? 4 years, I've lost track. I don't know. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I don't know. It's been years since it's happened. He's paid a price. Like, can we not all agree that he has paid a heavy, heavy price? His legacy, his reputation, he has lost tens of millions of dollars in projects and sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. He's become globally, publicly humiliated. I mean, over a slap. Meanwhile, you've got a president of the United States who's in the Epstein files almost as much as Epstein is in the Epstein files. But my point here is that I hated what Will Smith did, and I think there should have been consequences for it. But there's been consequences. There's been heavy consequences. There have been expensive consequences. There's been lifelong and even afterwards, his legacy consequences. How much is he supposed to pay? Now, that doesn't mean that it's Amazon's job to put him on the big screen. That doesn't mean it's Universal's job to put him on the big screen. That doesn't mean it's Disney's job to put him on the big screen. Not at all. If Amazon thinks, and this is me speculating, if Amazon thinks that putting him on the big screen right now is not a smart business move, then they are totally, I totally get it. I totally get it. I 100% understand if they're just from a business point of view are thinking it's not a good business move to put him on the big screen right now, then it's not their responsibility to give Will Smith another chance on the big screen. If they can get him into some streaming stuff, if they can make it good and make it quality, then maybe in a year or 2 years after Supermax comes out, maybe they'll then believe, okay, Will Smith is ready to be on the big screen again. We think audiences will come back to Will Smith movies again. If they don't think that's the case right now, fair enough. Totally fair enough. But if they get to the point that they feel like, okay, now we've got him back to the point that we can put him up there, then sure. Sure. Now, there are some morons out there, like KPB Video. Are you downplaying assault? You stupid fucker. You've heard, I have gone on for years about how stupid what Will Smith did, and there needed to be consequences and there needed to be penalties. But there have been consequences and there have been penalties. He has suffered more for a slap that there should have been consequences for, but he has suffered more consequences for a slap than most people have ever suffered for doing things 3 or 4 times worse. And I'm sorry, but you're just a moron if you don't recognize that. He has suffered far more consequences, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but he suffered them. He has now suffered the consequences. Far more consequences than the vast majority of people who have done things much, much worse. Much, much worse. He didn't slap Chris Rock, then pick him up, slam him to the ground, then start kicking him in the head, and then had to have 50 security guards rush in and pull him off Chris Rock. Then we'd be talking about something different. He slapped a guy that he shouldn't have done, and he should have paid a price. And he's paid a price. He's paid a price far bigger than you'll ever pay for the things you've done or that I've done. Global humiliation. He lost out a ton of movie projects. He lost out on tens of millions of dollars. His legacy has become tarnished for a slap. And he deserves all the consequences he got. But at some point, we have to say he's paid his price. And now it's time to let him move on. That doesn't mean you need to go out and see his movies anymore. It doesn't mean I need to go out and see his movies anymore. But should we not at some point go, okay, it's about time that the guy is now allowed to go out and continue his career so people who are still interested in him want to go out and see him. And if I don't want to go see him, that's my choice. And if you don't want to go see him, that's your choice as well. But yes, if you think anything that I just said was downplaying assault, then you're so stupid. There's nothing I can say that can help you. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Amazon just spent $70 million. $70 million for a Will Smith film about a murder in a Supermax prison, but they're not going to put it in theaters. My theory is because they believe the audience isn't ready to go back and see him on the big screen yet. And if that's their thought process, I think that's fair enough. Do you think maybe a really good Supermax movie can help rehabilitate his image? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.